We're back to Neil Haley Show. My guest today is Jesse L. Martin of NBC's The Irrational. Jesse, thanks for stopping by, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, so let's talk about it. So, Detective Ed Green on Law and Order was known for his by the book approach. Now you're
Yeah.
playing Alec Mercer, who tackles cases through the lens of behavioral science. How
Right.
has it been for you to shift gears and navigate this different investigative mindset?
I have to say, it's been a great evolution, particularly for an actor, because Alec Mercer is not by the book at all. We're dealing with irrational behavior. So there's no real book to follow. He just has to follow the behavior of people that he's looking into. And he has to watch his behavior as well. So for an actor, it's been a great evolution to go from someone like Ed Green, who, as you said, is by the book, to someone who is so irrational in his approach to being rational. That makes
What?
sense.
Yeah, absolutely. What aspects of Alec resonates with you?
First of all, his work, but there's one thing that stands out particularly because I think if I wasn't an actor, I would have loved to have been a teacher or a professor even. And the fact that he has this expertise and he goes out into the field and he's learning new things about the work that he does and how people behave and how people can make irrational decisions and all those things. He takes all of those things and takes them back to the university and crystallizes them into lessons. And it's one of my favorite parts of the show.
I like anything that involves that science background to really investigate things, to look at things in a deeper aspect and really figure out what makes things tick, right? You don't just
Yeah,
come up with an answer like that. You have to really go to the laboratory. And it sounds like that's how he operates.
that is how he operates. And part of the thing we do on the show, and you see a little bit of it in every episode, or at least every subsequent episode, where the persons that this character is based on and the show is based on actually does real experiments with students to just see how people react to certain situations, being offered things to do something irrational or make an irrational decision. Like, why would you choose to do that if you knew it was wrong? And we do all these experiments and we do some of them, replicate some of those on the show. So all of these things are really interesting to me. And if I could have gotten a chance in my early years to learn this way or get to do things like that, I think I would have had a lot more interest in science.
Absolutely. You've shown both musical and dramatic roles throughout your career. How do you draw
Yeah.
upon your diverse artistic experiences to portray Alec, a character who blends intellectual pursuits with a touch of unpredictability?
Yeah, the best part about my experience up until now is I've had experience working in law enforcement in several different ways. I played two different detectives and two different genres of shows. You had Law and Order, who was, like you said, by the book and straightforward crime drama. And then I do something in the fantasy world like The Flash, where I played a detective who had broad emotional moments with his children who were fantastic superheroes. And in this case, I'm just a humble professor who gets involved in these major stories, mysteries, and crimes. And I get to see all these things and work through all these things from such a humble angle that it's absolutely appealing to me. It feels
Absolutely.
like I'm in my wheelhouse right now.
It's fantastic. The Irrational explores the complexities of human behavior. As someone who captivates the audience with portrayals, what do you hope viewers take away from the show's exploration of psychology and its impact on our lives?
What I hope is in the same way that people really love to watch crime docuseries where they feel like they're learning how to look at crime, how to look at solving these mysteries. They get to learn from this show from a scientific angle and even have ways to talk about it that are quite scientific. It's like having a university at your fingertips.
I love that. Okay, Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern is The Irrational. Also, you can catch up on Peacock. I'm plain and simple. I'm going to be watching the show on Peacock because that's me. I'm a streamer. And I appreciate you coming by, Jesse, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.